Thunder Grunt.
Welcome to Mound of Thunder. Rex talked right when I said it. Yay! The only show on the internet where white guys talk about stuff.
The only show where white people are featured.
Finally, the voices are heard.
I feel like I've been silenced for long enough.
Right?
It's time to finally speak out.
John Bennett's half Filipino.
I'm Bob Rose, one of the hosts. The other person talking is John Bennett,
Hello, everybody.
because he never stops.
Person mumbling.
Huey Hessen,
Hi, guys.
Rex Anderson,
What's up?
and with us today is Lauren Anderson.
Hey.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. Very glad.
I'm very glad.
Because the opening question, I want everyone to shut up and not talk, because the opening question is just for Lauren. I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this, but can you, in a very short summary or guess, please explain to us why women like this franchise? I know you don't, but give us your best guess before we start flapping our jaws.
I mean, I know, but I just want to see if you know.
Let her answer.
Talk for your
I'm just saying.
chromosome.
Oh gosh.
Because I don't think we know, so help.
Rex knows.
I don't know if I can answer that question, but what I will say, and I was saying this to Rex on our drive home, was that this is, it's like the wet dream of a 14-year-old girl. So as if your sexuality has not matured since you were 13, 14 years old, maybe you'd be way into this. And you've internalized so much sexism. So much.
Like an insane amount of sex.
Insane amount of
Yeah.
sexism. It's just become internalized, and this is what you think love is.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's kind of like the inverse of us watching comic book movies anyway, right?
Yeah.
Us as 14-year-olds internalizing all that stuff, right?
Sure.
I mean,
Except things like happen in those movies.
well,
It
yes,
Yes,
that's
you're
true.
right.
Those are supposed to be dumb and silly, and this is not
And they're
supposed to be.
fun. This was not fun.
No, it's not fun. We watched, as you'll know from the title of this episode, we watched 50 Shades Darker, the sequel to 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Right. Rex's nipples are all erect right now.
Yes.
I got clamps on clamps, baby.
In this room,
Oh my God.
let's try it out in your finger and see how it works.
Yeah, let's leave it there, too. That's
Yeah.
it.
In this room, I'm the only person who's seen the first movie.
Like it matters. I don't feel like it
does.
mattered at all.
You know what? I'm not gonna say it matters, but I had a lot of information. I think you guys didn't.
It would have explained some of the characters that just flit in and out and aren't explained at all
Right.
and don't do anything.
Like her former roommate. You never see her living at her house.
That's news to me.
But her roommate is in the movie, and it's just, if you didn't see the first movie, you just assume she's some person.
The blonde chick was a roommate?
Yes.
And the guy who looked like a lumpy Jason Mewes?
They said she was moving in with him. Where do you think she was
that's right.
moving
He's
from?
Like, okay, yeah. And he's like, we
But
could
you
use
see
the
her
person.
in her house. You do see her in her house. She's just alone every time. Her
Every
roommate
location
Every
looks
time.
the
is
same.
never there.
Every location looks the same, so it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it's very
But
difficult
she's
to track
definitely in her
where
house.
anybody is at any given time. It's
Right.
I just assume we're in something Christian owns the whole
The whole movie.
He owns Earth,
Yeah.
and we're just living in it.
He decorates everything like a crate and barrel.
He makes $24,000 every 15 minutes.
Right.
He outshines Mitt Romney by about $22 an hour.
I don't know where to begin on the movie. It's too
Dude,
much.
I guess the
doesn't-
beginning, right?
Well, the
Let's just go
beginning.
chronologically because
no,
if
let's
we could
not do
try.
that.
Why?
This thing was like 6 hours long, man.
Don't
We'll
you
be
like-
here all night.
Dude, I
luckily-
feel like this lasted an eternity. And
It's
Bob.
2 hours long.
Yeah.
So straight up.
Don't you like the fact that we weren't burdened with scenes? We were just given stated objectives that actually played out exactly as they were stated.
and they ended in the same scene they started in.
They had
Yeah, I
video
loved
game
it.
logic. I
Right.
love
Yeah.
it.
This is just a series of vignettes about nothing in particular.
Bob,
Just these
It's a lot of
people's
great
lives.
romantic short
was-
films all
Bob,
in one
you
succession.
said, Bob, I think when we were leaving, you were like, this could have been a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, I was like,
Fine.
why is this 2 hours? It could have been a Super Bowl commercial. Give me 3 minutes of this. Fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I can't believe there was footage in the trailer that wasn't in the film.
Yeah.
Like, because
Well,
there's nothing
they
going
cut
on, man.
stuff
There's
out.
more. There's more of this fucking movie somewhere.
I thought this ended like 7 times. And then another scene
But
would
when
just
it
start.
did end, I was like, what? That's the end?
Dude, well,
That's
let's
the time
hang
you
on.
don't expect.
Let's
It,
jump
felt
right
like
there.
Return of the
Okay,
King.
okay.
It kept ending and then it stopped ending.
Yeah.
It was like,
I guess.
I guess
I was genuinely blindsided when it was just like the
Yeah.
credits just start rolling.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
this literally could have just gone on like this forever because there's no arc to anything at all.
The whole time, me and Huey were laughing because Huey kept saying, you were like, dude, when is the helicopter crash coming?
Yeah.
When is
Because
the helicopter
we
crash?
saw the trailer.
We saw the trailer.
Oh,
And I'm like,
right.
when
And
is
we
this
knew about
goddamn
it.
helicopter crash coming? That's the only thing. And it doesn't even crash. It just flies past the screen. Goddamn.
I
fuck
just
this
love
movie.
that we assumed
About
that
to crash.
we
It's
assumed
going to crash.
that a helicopter crash would be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I honestly
And it
thought
wasn't.
Dude, Bob is dying laughing. He keeps looking at me and going, at what point will a helicopter crash make sense?
In the
In this
narrative
movie.
of this movie, the whole time I was like, because then like I kept whispering to Huey, I was like, whenever anyone said anything, I was like, and now to my helicopter, you know, like,
Yeah.
like
Let's get
pretty much
married in
what
a
happened.
helicopter.
yeah, will you marry me? I bought you a bunch of Apaches here. Let's go to the roof.
The
Like,
deal is I have to test them out first. I get half price.
Even when he was in the helicopter, there was no explanation as to
Why he was in
in
a-
a helicopter. So suddenly he's flying a
I have
helicopter.
a theory about why the scenes were edited the way they were. I really think that they're chapter breaks just on the DVD for as long as my mom's bladder will hold out.
oh God.
And then it'll just be like, so she can stop the movie, go to the bathroom, come back, not miss a goddamn thing. That's the way it works.
Can we? Okay, so what are we doing? Are we talking
We're-
chronologically? What are we gonna do?
No, I mean,
are
I
we
don't.
going to
There
do?
are some things
I
that
feel
need to
hopeless.
talk about.
Lauren, I look.
Yeah.
Nobody talk over each other. There
Okay.
is so much to talk about. Just take your time. Let's all
Okay.
just hit the beats. Lauren, go ahead. I feel like you have something to say. Just breathe.
Goose from
The working girl reference.
Oh man, reference.
Oh yeah.
The
Lifting
direct-
the entire ending.
Working girl scene.
I actually heard you
I
yelling
just-
about that. It's a fucking girl.
I was like, oh my god, no! Dakota Johnson does a complete scene from her mother's movie, Working Girl, from starring Melanie Griffith from 1985 or whatever, and it makes no sense. There's no reason to do it. It is the dumbest thing in the world. Plus, the girl that comes in is her coworker who is a black woman, and she comes in and she's like, I'm really happy for you that you took over for your boss that tried to rape you, by the way.
That was supposed to be. That was a plot line
yeah.
that ended way before the end of the movie.
That ended like an
It's not
hour
like that
in.
girl worked there for 5 years or
No,
anything.
no.
Yeah, exactly. That was
Wait
my
a
point.
You've
It's
been here
just
for 2
like-
weeks. You deserve to be the boss.
But
Wait a minute. He resigned at 5 o'clock in the afternoon for no reason.
No, that was
Hastily.
fake. I thought that Christian made it happen.
well, he did, but
Yeah,
everybody
but-
thought that he
Everyone thought
resigned
he
for no
resigned.
reason.
Yeah.
Can I give a stupid gripe it's really dumb? But at the beginning of the movie, I realized that her name is Anastasia.
And
Is it
Anastasia.
the assistant's name is
Steven.
Hannah?
Yes!
I hated that!
That angered me
Yes,
so
me
much.
too.
I was like, why did you name her Hannah? Because it sounded like he said
Anna.
bye, Anna, and she went, bye, Hannah. And I was like, did she just say bye to herself? Like, I was like, what happened there?
That
Then I realized later on her name was Hannah, and I was like, why would you do that? Stupid gripe.
Yeah,
but
other than that, the movie's pretty much perfect.
it's exceptionally well done. Exceptionally well done. That was my only gripe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Huey,
you know what's
Huey.
okay? The minute I hadn't seen really anything of Christian Grey before he came on screen at the photo gallery thing, and he reminds me a lot of the guy who's gonna marry Julia Gulia in Wedding Singer. He looks just like that dude,
I mean,
like the Don Johnson lookalike guy. He looks.
Yeah.
yeah, he does look.
Okay.
He's a little chubbier in this movie than he was in the first movie.
He's a
So I
got
can
a
see what you're talking
froggish
about.
head.
Dude, just look.
Chubbier?
I put them side
His
by side.
face had more
they could be brothers.
volume to it.
And I don't know. That really
He
repeatedly
was in great
struck
shape.
me as I watched this film. I don't know why. It's completely useless.
The first movie, okay, I did not like the first movie, obviously, but the first movie
Why
was
not?
more entertaining because it was the two of them having constant conversations about fucking, which is more interesting than them actually fucking. And it's like emails and them signing contracts, and it was just weird. And he seemed like a serial killer, which made it more interesting to watch. This was just
Yeah,
sex.
I thought that was
This
the
like
setup.
a-
Was like he's kind of a creepy, like
Right.
weird. You don't know where he's coming from. And this, it's just like
This was like the movie opens and it's just like, hey, I want to start doing everything
is
again. She's
in-
like, okay.
This is a normal
Well,
guy trying to
that's-
get back together with his girlfriend. And
Right.
that's what it plays
Yeah.
out basically. It's like, what is the hook for this?
Normal in the way that he's just a controlling dick, and it's like, why is she attracted to him? And so when people come after her and they're like, you just want him for his money, and I'm like, I believe you, I agree, because he is nothing. He's a piece of shit. Why do you like him?
It's this one is so much more misogynistic too, like almost to a laughable degree. Because every
I
woman in
hate
the
this
movie's
movie
like,
so
oh no,
much.
they treat him like kids' gloves. Well, we gotta only work around how he feels.
Dude,
And the whole time, like, would you
asinine.
stab this motherfucker in the
Exactly.
face, kill him, and all go and live your lives? Like, stop worrying about how he's.
So mad.
Yeah, he can't love. I know. Like, shut up. Kill him. Push him off a roof. Steal his money. He's awful. Don't stop bowing to his whim.
Yes.
It-
Well,
he-
he got broken. He got hurt and abused when he was a kid, so he gets to be a dick.
Another storyline from the beginning. We start out with him being abused, I guess, and that didn't go anywhere. The
Nope,
flashback
nowhere.
shit.
Don't you get it? He wants to fuck his mother back to life, you assholes! He's got a hole in his heart and it's shaped like his mother's face!
And we know
He just
that
wants to
because
fuck it alive!
he drew lipstick around it to show where
Yes,
his heart
He has
is.
a Tin
Oh my-
Man
what
fucking
in-
door on his chest!
God's name.
that
What was that?
She-
So,
okay,
Babes
in the
in
movie,
Toyland.
yeah.
How
Please
would she
explain
even
that to
know
me.
what to do?
Hold on. In the movie, for anyone, because no one's listening to this is gonna watch it.
Yeah, right.
In the movie, he said, like, they draw a perimeter on his chest of where it's not okay to touch with her hands.
He does not like to be touched
Touch-
on his chest.
Right, and she draws lipstick all around his like abs and chest, saying
Yeah.
this is like the no touch area.
No,
No
but she
touchy.
can touch, but
Stay
their
out of the
bodies
no
can
zone.
touch there. That's okay.
Yeah.
because they
Just
fuck
on
a
her
lot.
hands.
They
Yes.
fuck a lot.
they do.
Although he does tend to flip her over and fuck her doggy style the majority of the time.
They did missionary a
They
few
did a
times,
few
and his
times.
chest was touching her body.
Yes.
Also,
it
Yeah.
was.
At no point does he take his pants even a little bit down.
No, he
No.
totally does
Every
it.
time he fucks.
Would it make more sense for him to leave his shirt on if that's what the phobia is?
Yeah. why
Guys,
would
we
you
gotta
not-
sell this thing in China!
Keep
Okay.
your hands
Oh, I'm sure
off.
there's a whole extra subplot added just for that movie. But
We don't need to see his big bog or his dig-a-dig.
She walks
What's the
in
difference?
room.
Gotta let him have it.
She
What?
walks
I
in the
don't
room
know.
with this fucking shirt on, and he's like just doing chin-ups to the police. And
That's a good one.
Dude, that shit that was hot. Are you kidding?
Top 40.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out that Danny Elfman did all the
All the
music for
music.
this movie.
I wish it sounded
we
like
were talking
Beetlejuice.
about that. It was like,
This is
I
probably-
bet Danny Elfman put this together in 24 hours and was like, give me my tens of thousands of dollars and I'll see you later.
I told Rex he's remodeling a kitchen. That's the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
explanation.
And then he
for
got
this.
that dubstep scene, and he's like, watch this. I'm going to totally sell it up. There's the silence and then the drop in the middle of fucking. I was like, you
Dude,
gotta
when
be
the drop
big
happens,
thrust
and
with
he-
the
Yes.
thrust.
with the first thrust, amazing.
Oh
Man.
In the red room. They're in the red room.
Right, right.
That-
Yeah.
He's
The
probably
Red
watching
Room-
this limp, flaccid piece of nothing. He's just like, watch. I'll make something out of this scene with nothing but a drop from a genre that is no longer popular.
I'm gonna put a heartbeat in your
this
grandma
thrust.
just now.
Ooh,
Blip.
hotness.
It almost
Oh my
feels
God.
the movie. Like I'm not that mad because it feels almost pathetic. The movie feels so pathetic.
Yeah, I don't want to beat up on it too much.
Yeah,
'cause
it's like
No, no, no.
You know,
these people are puppy dogs, man. You and I could go make this movie for about $1,000.
Seriously.
You know, and there's nothing to this movie at all. There's no dialogue.
I mean, there's
no
a
speak-
helicopter crash.
There's a helicopter. Well,
helicopter.
somewhere it's off.
There's also
screen.
sailing. There's sailing.
There is. Oh yeah, there's a
That
sailing
montage was so
a
long.
montage of one sequence of sailing where they're not going anywhere. They weren't coming from anywhere.
No.
Then they just
There's a
are
sailing
somewhere
montage
else.
in the
Yeah.
first movie.
And she goes, ah!
What?
There's 3 transportation. I say this on bonus disc. There's 3 transportation montages in the first movie of them falling in love.
I hate this.
Then that's why it's funny to have another sailboat montage.
I hate
Man.
Dude,
Oh my
They're like, hey, we
God.
rented it for the afternoon. We got like 3 movies worth of scenes out of
Just
that.
film them in different clothes, whatever.
And
It's
It's
she's
like
fine.
the opening to a 90s sitcom. I mean, it's just nothing. Like, you can insert it into
Dude,
any movie.
All right, no, wait. In the beginning, when say I'm sitting next to Huey the whole time. When there was that scene where they're in the restaurant and the guy couldn't fucking open
Oh my
the
God.
wine with a cork, and it took like it was an extra 45 seconds that did not need to be in the movie. And I said to you, it's like 2 hours.
Dude.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
edit that out.
Why?
Like, what are you doing? That wasn't even funny. It's not comedy.
Isn't it funny when Christian just kind of, sort of loses his patience with him a little bit? And then she's like, man, you really gotta calm down. This
Oh my
man
God.
couldn't be calmer if he was in a fucking coma.
You know, there's a line where he goes, I hate it when we fight, like after they just had a regular conversation. And the way he said it made it seem like it was a joke, and then it's like she didn't get the joke
Yeah.
and was like, no, that's how people are. Conversations sometimes resolve, and like they go on. I was like,
man.
that was temporarily
Dude,
kind of a funny line.
So much of these movies is about how people are.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can tell you from the first movie, it's like everyone's concerned with what being normal is. Like, what being, like, that's what you should be like.
And that sounded like the 2 screenwriters arguing with each other. Like, they're like, what dialogue is?
you know, okay, there's like this plot where Christian Grey has like this old sub
Yeah.
who's like hunting Anastasia down.
God, I
and-
forgot that
Sub
happened.
means
I
submissive.
forgot that
Yes.
happened. I thought she was a ghost for a minute.
Dude, I thought that's
she
what
kept showing up in the apartment.
And then when like her car was all smashed to shit, I'm like, is there some sort of weird
The
subplot where all
poltergeist.
this- what's going on with this woman? And
For a second, I thought the movie was gonna get awesome. Like, there's
Is
some
his-
supernatural
and
shit
then it all
happening.
fell apart into nothing.
Is his dick haunted?
Yeah.
And then he like walks in and like
came over
uses
the car.
force domination to make this woman put everything down and go to her knees.
Oh, man.
What he
People
did-
behind
he
us
walked
said,
into
"Is he
her-
a Jedi?" The guys behind us said, "Is he a Jedi?" Because he's like, "No."
No,
Like,
and
just
he
did it
did it
with
to
his
her
hand.
too. She started talking to him, no, and Rex goes turns to me and goes, "I control your mind as well."
Well, first I went, wah, 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 wah.
Right,
Just-
yeah.
He looked like Magneto because
Like-
her gun went from like pointing at the girl to pointing at him because he just like held his hand out at her.
I mean, that
A
should
la
have been the
X-Men 1.
climax of the movie.
Yeah.
Her taking a gun out and pointing at Anastasia should have been like
climax.
10 minutes before the credits.
Right.
That's where the movie ends,
That
and
was
it doesn't. It's like
that was the
45
only
minutes
action-
left in the movie.
The only actual physical danger anybody is in,
Except
other than
the
the
helicopter
helicopter crash that happens off screen, and the way that resolves is the best fucking part of the
my
whole
God!
movie.
Yes!
By
Wait,
a million.
yes!
Wait, I want to go over how just because.
It's important to
because
describe it. You're
No,
right.
It's the
Just
day
to go
before his birthday.
Because
Day before his
Well,
birthday.
wait, I want to go over the ridiculousness of how the girl with the gun gets resolved before even
Oh,
the
yeah,
helicopter
okay, yeah,
crash.
you're right. You're right.
Because he comes in and is like, now, like, he pets her on the head and she goes down to her knees and he's like, get out of here, Anastasia. And then he comes to the apartment where she is, or he finds her eventually, because she's so upset. He finds her, or she goes back to the apartment and then she goes, and he's just like, yeah, she's in a psych ward now. It's all
It's
good.
fine.
It's
fine.
over.
Fine, I
She's-
signed the papers.
I
Her
put her
life's
away.
over. Don't
She's
worry
getting
about
the
it.
help she needs.
It's like, what?
I paid to throw her into Guantanamo Bay. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck her.
I own it, so-
I don't care. She's my slave.
I'm a
Fuck her.
billionaire.
She's getting off on being in a cell. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
So
I
that
made
just-
$72,000 signing those papers.
Yes.
How
That
do you-
just got neatly wrapped up, like done.
How do you think the red room gets dusted? She's in a fucking dog crate underneath the floorboards.
God.
Jesus. So
It's
then,
like the telltale heart, but nobody feels
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
It's that. Well, not then because it's like
Nobody
way
cares.
later. But
Yeah.
way later.
it
There's
feels
like-
like it's.
Oh my
I
God.
felt like I was watching a mini series.
Dude,
It feels so long.
it's just like a bunch of setups, and then it's over.
It's a
Like,
mess.
It's crazy, man.
It's also like she gets upset at him again and again. She's like, "You're a fucking dick." Oh, whoa, you're a fucking dick. Oh, you're a fucking dick. And then, but
He's
it's
not
like,
just a dick,
between
though. He's
everyone, it's like,
insane.
will you move in with me? Will you marry me?
Sure,
She's like,
yep.
yeah.
And every time he's
Yeah,
like, we can
totally.
solve
Let's
this
do
by
it.
having sex right now.
Yes.
And then they'll just have sex.
Like, I know a
and the
relationship
problem's
like that.
over.
That
He's like,
doesn't.
man, I
that
really
doesn't
love
last.
this guy.
I've said this when I saw the first movie. For a guy that everyone keeps saying, well, he doesn't enjoy normal sex. He sure fucks normally a lot.
He fucks totally normally.
For a lot. Like in both
Yeah.
movies, he has a lot of just vanilla sex. For a guy, everyone's like, oh no, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, I like to use one toy of some sort.
Yeah, I need my room with all the stuff. No,
He's
I can't
not a
ever.
superhero.
And then
He's
fucks
more
it.
like Batman.
Yeah.
He needs a utility.
Right. Yes.
I don't
That's
actually
it.
use any of
He's
this.
not
It's all
really
just-
a-
Dude, he has a lot of sex with just himself. There's no. I mean, they had a lot of sex that had nothing to do with S&M and stuff,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And even when they do, it's just like, what, your legs are 3 feet apart? Is that even
He's like, you
unusual?
gotta learn how to walk before you can
Yeah.
run, and then it's like,
The
here, your
pole-
legs are
Wait,
now
do you
3
guys
feet
know how the
apart.
first
I
movie
thought he
ends?
was gonna
Do you
pick
guys
it up
know?
and start
I know.
doing it.
Matt,
Yeah,
Matt
everyone's
yelled
talking
it
at
at me.
Do you 3 know how the first movie ends? Because like the first movie doesn't have any BDSM till the end. And you know when in this movie when they were saying, I saw how far you went and I can't ever go back there. Do you want to know what that was?
Yes.
It was her bent over and him using a leather belt and smacking her in the ass 6 times. That was
Like the Marquis de Sade.
Wow.
The
Dude,
darkness.
when he, like, wakes
the
up
darkness
and
that he
tries
is
to-
capable of, man.
Wow.
Up in the
6
morning.
spanks.
Was this written by a
Jesus
virgin?
Christ.
It's ri-
Because I would believe that.
It was originally Twilight fan fiction.
yeah, it's originally
Yes.
Twilight, and that.
By
And
a
then they-
virgin?
Probably.
Well, Twilight's written by a Mormon, right? Right?
Well,
I don't.
I'm pretty
don't know.
sure.
Dead air.
No, I'm pretty sure the author of Twilight is a Mormon, and this was originally Twilight fan fiction. So
This,
but then, but different.
I don't know.
author.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
This is such a shortbread nothing movie. I swear to God. I mean, they're treating it like if this was in a Utah small town, this would be the film from The Man in the High Castle. It's so sexy.
Dude, this would be Caligula to
Yeah.
them.
Good
I know.
grief.
That's
Yeah,
why I was
yeah.
asking
Yeah.
if a virgin wrote it. Because
Yeah, that makes
it's like-
sense. Yeah.
It's like someone who's never had sex, never even thought about sex, wrote a book, and then had the movie made by their rich uncle.
I think
That's
Lauren
what it
was
is.
right. Like, if you asked me to write a sexy movie when I had grown up on Skinamax,
Right.
Yeah.
this is what I would write.
That's-
Like, I'd be
it's
like, well,
what I
this
would
is
write.
obviously sexy because it is a Skinamax movie.
Yeah.
And it's what I would
Yeah.
think that like would be sexy about like a man too. Like you're like, oh, he's
a
kind of controlling, and I have to, but he's broken, and I have to fix him, and like I would think that was sexy when I was 14.
He's a maniac. I hope he dies. Like, I was
fucking
happy
asshole.
when his helicopter crashed. Like,
Yeah.
good. He's this fucking, like, hell spawn ball and chain on everyone's leg just gone. Good.
I wouldn't even go that far, man, because it's only this whole movie is just about their stupid fucking relationship. Nothing at all happens.
Well, him and that
There's barely any
Kim
exterior.
Basinger thing.
There's but that's like nothing.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't-
like 2 minutes of the fucking movie.
She was his
She's such a
mom
nothing-
figure or a teacher or something.
Yeah,
that
it's
had
like
sex with him.
it's his fuck sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
she-
and
wrong.
that's
You
it.
taught me how to fuck. You didn't teach me how to love.
Oh, get out of here. Okay.
That shit to Kim Basinger.
That's
Oh,
her
man.
rag.
I mean,
Yeah.
Watch out for your.
how
kinky
many
fuckery.
men did Kim Basinger teach how to fuck? You know,
Poor Kim Basinger, man.
I saw her name in the credits, and I said out loud, "Oh, that poor thing."
Yeah.
you did. Yes.
You fall hard, man. I guess you
Poor
know.
girl.
Anyway, so his parents are throwing a birthday party for
Yes.
him because there's like 9 parties in this movie. I can't
Well,
remember.
what else
all
is
of
gonna
them.
happen?
Yeah, they have parties and they go to restaurants and they have everything looks like a coffee shop.
Eat breakfast
But-
9 times.
Yeah, it's
And
like
yet
all
we know
breakfast.
really nothing about these characters.
No.
Most of the time, she's just constantly asking him questions. He's
Who are
vaguely
you?
answering them.
Do you love me? I don't know.
That's-
Maybe.
that's
Whatever.
And he
So I was
never
like-
asks her a question about herself ever. We know nothing about her.
Because
So, like-
her body's all that matters. That's
Yep.
what matters.
Watching this,
She's a thing.
I didn't even like if there wasn't an original, like I wouldn't even know if these people knew each other ahead of time.
Dude, if
You
there
know
was
what I
no
mean?
first
Like-
movie, this would be amazing. Because then it'd be like, where are you coming
Yeah.
from at all?
If it's just like some girl that's in a shitty art gallery that's consists of 6 of her headshots blown up and put on the wall in black and white, and
Yeah.
then just runs into a guy she thinks is hot that knows her name,
Yeah.
and that's the setup. This could be the exact same movie.
Yeah.
As someone who's seen the first one, like that was something I noticed the whole time too. Is like as like everyone else in this theater who hasn't seen the first one has got to be lost in the woods. There was no scene, you know, like
No.
you watch
Not
Blade
really.
2,
Wasn't
and the
lost at
opening
all.
of Blade 2 shows Blade killing a bunch of vampires,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, if I didn't see the first one, I now know what Blade is.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that. It was just
Well,
yeah,
it
but
took an
people
e-
know what 50 Shades of Grey is. So.
It took them an eternity to eke out 5
Yes.
fucking seconds of dialogue to
Yeah.
establish anything.
Yeah.
That was just like infuriating. I'm like, drink the fucking wine so you can talk, you goddamn people. Good lord, you're the only 2 people on screen. This is all we're looking at. Would you start the fucking movie
2
already?
hours of
Oh
that.
my
Good
God!
Lord.
Nobody finishes a beverage in this movie.
Ah, it drives me crazy.
Nobody drinks anything.
They poured. They're like, let's go have sex immediately.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No time to finish this champagne. That
That
costs
was
like
Dude,
$2,000.
when her boss took her to that fucking bar, and then Christian comes in, and they had that weird, the fact that he's a hot guy, he must want to fuck you, and then she leaves the entire
beer.
I was
I gotta go
It's like,
because my boyfriend's a dick.
He's like, I guess I'm gonna sit here and get drunk by myself while I write up your firing papers. Like,
God
what's
damn,
wrong?
there's-
How rude is that?
Even before that, he's like, "Let's go have drinks at Lori's," and she goes,
Who's Lori?
Oh,
like
man.
that, like an
What did they
idiot.
do? What was their job?
they were.
They were a publishing house, so
Yeah.
she reads
Oh, okay.
manuscripts to go tell a
he
bunch
was
of
like-
white people what to publish.
Because there is a whole plot
He was
line
like
of
the
her
editor-in-chief,
becoming
I
her
think.
dream job. She
Her
said to
dream
him,
job.
"This is my dream job." And I said to Huey, like, she's an assistant.
She's a fucking
Like,
intern,
that's your
man.
dream job, is to be an assistant?
You're a goddamn adult. What are you doing?
What was with the HR woman showing up and like seeming to have like mysterious?
That was fucking
and
through
then
me, man.
Never
And
comes
then
back.
Never
again.
comes back.
She
She's
gets
shady as
side-eye
hell.
from her.
And there's totally on the up and up in the next and only other scene that she's in.
If you're just making runtime filler, why does it need to be so long?
No.
No.
Just get it to 80 minutes and
I can't-
stop.
I
You don't
can't
need to go to
believe-
2 hours.
I remember like Kevin Smith in the commentary of a lot of his movies was like in the 90s everybody was very critical of long movies, which is why Dogma had so many
Right.
subplots cut out and
Yeah,
stuff like
right,
that.
right.
And I'm like, if he made that movie today, it would be like 4 fucking hours long because nobody could possibly criticize him for length. These we were watching
Yeah.
movies that are just endlessly long for absolutely no reason.
I said Super Bowl commercial, man. 5 minutes. You
Five-
could have covered this movie in
5 minutes.
Yeah.
minutes.
Easy.
5 minutes.
There's one scene with them just texting each other. It's just, and it's
Ah.
like, hi, love you.
They
love you."
literally leave the movie up to Christian walking into somewhere in order to introduce the people that have conflicts with each other.
Yeah.
He's going out of his fucking way to make this goddamn movie happen. And it's like for no reason.
Dude, they get engaged about 6 times in this movie.
Oh my
Every
god.
time he sees her.
I didn't even realize at one point
happening.
she hadn't answered yet. I was like,
So
because he's like, is there an answer? I was like, haven't we covered this?
Like, she has said yes at least
He's-
once by now.
And then
She has to.
You don't keep proposing.
We've been here for a week. She hasn't
don't-
said anything.
You don't buy an engagement ring after you're engaged and then propose again.
Can we
You just
talk?
give it to her. She already said yes.
Can we talk about the weird infrastructure that Christian has? He has fuck dossiers made of people
He's 27.
that he
too.
Fuck
hasn't
dossiers.
that he
yeah.
hasn't met
Yeah.
yet.
Yes.
He has fuck dossiers of people at their old jobs when they were like 14.
I love that dossiers are still a thing in 2017.
Yeah.
And they're in a
Pulls out
movie. They're
pile
in
of
this
fucking
movie.
Manila folders.
Yeah.
There's a pile of Manila folders.
Pretty sure the last
several
3
times in
James
this
Bond
movie.
Like a
movies
Word
didn't.
document or something, for Christ's sake.
I don't think the last 3 James Bond movies had dossiers. I'm just saying.
And
Well.
this fucking bitch is like, oh, you have one on me. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
And it's like, you don't find that creepy as hell? You don't, like, you're not like, okay, we're breaking up now. Goodbye. You
No.
are a crazy person.
And she never, even when she asked,
Stalking me.
No, Lauren. That's why she marries him, because he's so thorough.
right? And he already
That's
knows.
what you do when you're in love with
Right.
somebody. You pay people to research them.
Yeah, and he already inexplicably knows everything about her, including her bank information, which he never answers.
He never
and she
answered that!
stops caring
Never.
about.
I'm telling, that's what I was saying. Every moment she's like, that's weird. That's creepy. You're a dick. And then she's like, well, never
Oh,
mind.
you fuck
and
good,
5
though.
seconds later, never mind, because you're hot and you're rich. That's my point.
You Bend me
hacked
over,
my
I'm
banking
fine.
account.
Every time someone says you just want to be with him for your money, his money, I believe it, because she ignores
I'll
all
take
the
anything as
bullshit.
long as you fuck me on an escalator.
Yep.
Oh man, the
All right.
elevator.
Okay,
Elevator, go.
right.
Van
His
Morrison.
parents are throwing
Boner
him
Central.
a birthday
Morrison.
party. His parents throwing him a birthday party tomorrow, and he goes on this trip to something.
Portland. He said I have to go to
Go to
Portland,
Portland,
for some meeting.
and she
That's all he
can't
said.
go. She can't go. And he is in a helicopter with that woman. What was the woman that he
Who
was
the hell
cares?
knows? Who cares?
Some woman
Some
that
Some
we're-
person who has
I
two
feel like
lines.
we were supposed to know.
Her name was
Wait a
probably
minute.
Jenna.
The business
Hold on.
partner.
Yeah.
First off, it's
Lena.
it's his other assistant, I think it is.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
secondly, he has a driver for every vehicle he has. He has people following him. He has bodyguards. He has a ship captain that probably stayed up all night because they were fucking, and you can hear it through the whole goddamn sailboat.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he takes a helicopter to Seattle, and he goes up with somebody who doesn't know how to fly a fucking helicopter. So when he's in trouble, he has to do it himself. What the fuck?
She asks what's happening about 5 times as they're crashing. Well,
Yeah,
I think it's,
what's going on? What's going on?
exceedingly
We're
obvious.
crashing!
What is happening?
You hear me
Sitting next to
screaming,
him.
"Mayday!"
You know. You just look at the goddamn thing. It
He
says
doesn't
fuel
say
and
a
it
The
says
word.
craft we're in is shaking, and there's black smoke billowing out. What do you think is happening?
That's what drove me crazy. Is he says nothing
He
to
says
her. and
nothing
she's
to-
like, "What's wrong? What's going on? What's going on?"
He
He's
is
just like,
unflappable in that scene,
I'm
by the
just
way.
flying the
His scene is just like his. I mean, he
Dude,
doesn't look
I wish he would
concerned.
take his dick out. He was like masturbating while flying. You know, he's a fucking psycho.
Dude, I just want like the mark. Like I
I
want
wish he was like, take off my belt and chuck me with it.
yeah.
This is my portable red room.
That'd be a good time for like Colin from Marquise to just pop out of his
Right,
pants
yeah.
and like
Talk to his dick.
talk to him.
You were like-
Oh, by the way, they stole a shot from Rambo Part 2. I
Yes,
saw
they
that.
did, they did.
They thought I didn't see it. I saw
did.
it.
And then Bob, you were like, what if it turns into The Edge?
With
Stop
Alec
getting-
Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins, I was like, he's a billionaire. He
He's
crashed
lost
into
in the woods.
They're
They're gonna
gonna
get hunted by a
fucking
grizzly
bear.
bear. That'd be great.
That'd be amazing. The whole thing just turns into The Edge. So
But
then
no, they crash the
they crash.
helicopter
We don't see
off
the
scene.
crash. And then the news, and she gets the news that he's missing, and the helicopter crash. It's on the news.
While she's out with friends, like
Right,
her
right.
friend gets the phone call and is like,
The friend is her
Christian,
brother?
he's
That's
like,
That's
her-
Christian's brother,
That's
Oh,
his
that's
brother.
Christian's
Yeah.
brother.
who is dating her
I
roommate.
had
It's only
no
weird.
idea.
First
Yeah.
movie. It's in the first
What?
movie.
Only
Okay.
yeah, it's only weird because at no point
point.
do they give you any
No.
idea who the hell this person
Like I
is.
said, it's a TV show. It seems like you.
It's a
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
A TV
yes.
show would assume you knew that.
Right.
Yes.
This is
A
like the
movie
6th
shouldn't.
episode of a TV show
Yeah.
that sucks.
You don't know that he's his brother if you haven't seen the first movie until the end party when he says, like, my
Right,
bro's
it's the
a lucky
last scene.
guy.
The
Oh,
And I was
last
like,
scene.
that just
Right.
now, anyone
Yes.
who's seen this would just get
The
it now.
last scene
So
is when they
they-
establish who he is.
Long story short, they all gather at Christian's apartment
Right, and they're
to
watching
watch the news, you know, and then one
And
guy's
they're
like, oh, turn these idiots off. And it's like, they're not
They're
idiots.
describing who he is. They're
Yeah.
not saying anything
Anything
bad about
wrong
him.
at all.
Everybody in that room knows what a piece of shit he is. They're not saying any of it on TV, and this guy's outraged.
Within
Yeah.
minutes, though, they're like, oh, wait, Christian Gray's been found. He's okay.
No,
And he was like,
on TV.
what? What?
And then it's like he's traveling back to Seattle, and then
Right
he
now.
comes through the door.
And then he walks in the door.
Oh my
They
god.
say it. Oh my god. It
When he
was-
walked through the door, I lost my mind.
He still has soot on
I
his
wanted-
arms.
I would have loved
I
if the
literally
news was
was
just
just
like, and he just walked into the apartment and everybody's elated to see him.
You got to understand that this part happens
me
like,
so
I would
happy.
say, roughly an hour and 20 minutes in the movie.
Yes.
He goes on the helicopter, gets in a crash, they all worry, then he's fine. That all happens within the span of what, like 10 minutes?
10 minutes at most.
At
And-
most.
And if you completely excise that from the movie entirely,
It doesn't affect
would
anything.
affect
She would
nothing.
still marry him without that happening.
Dude, they still, like,
It was
he
it-
walks in, they all say, like, oh, thank God, and then they just leave, like, 30 seconds
Your
later.
son almost died.
Dead.
Bye.
2 minutes
They're
ago.
like, see you tomorrow at your birthday party. We could have just cut to
They're
that.
holding the elevator. They're holding the fucking elevator. They're so eager to leave.
At the party the next day, too, they don't mention the helicopter.
Not at all.
It really is just
like
like-
it's nothing. Like it didn't even happen.
He was lost in the woods. Like,
For how long?
Like,
though?
did he?
Like
Was
an
he
hour?
rescued? Did he walk home?
Who knows? I don't
He
I
was,
just
like,
love that
nobody
they-
found him because he's still fucked up.
They cut that shit out and left all the shit we saw into a 2-hour
Honestly,
movie.
if they had a
Oh.
scene at his birthday party where they were like, he faked the helicopter
Yeah,
crash.
that was
to
all
buy-
bullshit.
buy
The
that
only-
engagement
It was just
ring."
fucking-
The
his
only way
assistant.
this could be better is if that woman that was his assistant just disappeared. And they're like, well, they didn't find her. And he's like, well, what happened? He's like, I don't remember.
Right.
You know, or something like to make insinuate
Right,
that he
like
ate her or
something
something.
happening.
Something crazy
How is it
going
like
on.
he hates his
It seems
birthday? His
shady.
birthday's the next day. He's going on a mysterious trip to Portland. None of these things connect.
No.
None of them. Not goddamn one of them.
It'd
and
be
then it's
easier to
resolved, and nobody cares, and then they never mention it again.
I'm just saying, it would be easier to assume he crashed the helicopter so he can kill someone
Right.
and then just show up again fine.
Nobody has any motivation to do anything
Anything.
in this movie. It is just people getting up, going to work, drinking at a bar, having breakfast an inexplicable number of times.
It's extremely
A lot of sex.
That's
and
romance,
it's
Rex.
fucking.
That's real
That's
life.
it. There's no movie. It's just
That.
Sort of people having kind of relationships.
Yeah,
Two things
kind of relationship.
I want to talk about, 2 details. One,
Okay.
One is during the masquerade party, right? It was during the masquerade party.
I'm sorry, it's a masked
Yeah,
ball.
Masked
no,
ball.
mask ball, not
Masked
masked.
ball?
Mask ball.
I'm pretty
is what
sure
he
it's the
said.
masked ball, which is at a mansion.
At
It's at a mansion,
his
right?
parents'
Are we all
Oh,
agreed?
man.
His parents.
Bob,
All right,
Such a
yes,
big
exactly.
deal,
I'm
man.
talking about it.
Okay.
It's at a mansion, right? We all agree that it's at a fancy fucking
Sure.
mansion.
Very expensive place.
Yeah,
Yes.
ritzy, expensive.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's the one where she has the balls in.
Yeah.
In
It's
her,
this.
yeah,
It's it.
where she has the
In her-
balls.
in
She
her-
put-
in her
Like
hoo-ha.
Benoit balls.
Benoit
in her
balls
hoo-ha.
in her hoo-ha, right?
Not in her butt. People,
Whoa.
dude, that line
That line
killed.
killed it.
People
That line
were like,
fucking
"Oh,
killed the
It
audience.
did.
Booty.
So she has the Benoit balls in. They're like at a party and they need to fuck really bad.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
go upstairs to the party and they start fucking on the bed.
Wait,
and-
you forgot that line she says right before they go.
Well, that's not what I'm
Where-
saying. You don't even know where I'm going.
Oh,
With
okay.
This is
But-
unique.
Hang on.
This is I annoyed Huey for 10 minutes about this
Okay,
because they're
okay.
fucking the whole time, and I'm like, this is in the background of the whole scene. You guys probably didn't notice it. I was like, dude, they have a tube television. Because they're in like this
It's like-
nice
yeah,
fucking
it's
house.
Prominently featured.
Yeah, no, they're fucking, and in the bag is this giant tube television. I'm like, why the fuck would those people own a tube television?
They're fucking
like-
in a museum.
Because at that point I
UGA
didn't know where they
cameras.
were, and I was like, is that Christian Grey's apartment? Because
Yeah,
why
where?
would he have a tube television? When does this movie take place?
Yeah.
I was like, for a second, I was like, is this happening in a different time period? That threw me off so much. I was so
hard it is to find Cambodian snuff films on DVD, Bob?
Well, it's at least the early 2000s because there's a very prominently featured Chronicles of Riddick poster.
That was the second one I was going to talk about.
Beforehand.
But there's also cell phones with text messages. There's smartphones,
yeah.
so they have a tube television and smartphones.
She has an iPhone 6S.
He gives her a smartphone
Yeah.
at the beginning, which I guess she didn't have
He
one.
gives her a car, a smartphone, and a laptop.
Right.
I guess she just canceled her fucking cell phone plan. I hope he paid for that. It's like $300, man.
I guess the tube television was like because they're in his childhood bedroom and they just
But they
never
weren't.
changed
That
the
wasn't. Was that
television?
his parents' house?
Yeah, that was his
Yes,
parents'
it was
house.
his parents'
Yeah.
house.
It had to be like his
Okay,
child.
well, that's fine.
Yeah,
There's
because
a
you have the
picture-
trophies on the wall. That was
You gotta
like-
understand, like
The picture of
each
his mother
setting.
was in the room.
You guys, Bob
Yeah.
was not having this.
I was
fucking
just
tube
like, how could they do
television.
this? I was losing my mind.
Betrayal.
Well, yeah, I guess that explains it. Then I'll stop.
So beforehand, we were talking about what the third 50 Shades of Grey movie would be called, and we thought it would just be Pitch Black, and it would tie into.
the Riddick
into
movie.
the
We
Riddick
said
movies.
this before the
This is-
movie started.
So we're watching this, and then
we seriously said this.
That's why you
why you
lost your
lost
mind.
Yes, this is why
Okay.
we lost it. Yeah.
Okay.
and then a Chronicles of Riddick movie is
Well,
featured prominently.
They go to his childhood home at
God.
the end of toward the end of the
Toward.
movie,
The
and they have
whole
a
movie's
very
toward the end of the
serious
movie.
conversation about marriage. And the whole time they're talking, there's a giant
Goddamn Chronicles
there's
of
a
Riddick
Riddick poster above his
Of
shoulder.
all things that could possibly be on the wall.
Man,
Dude,
when
I
that
laugh.
happened-
I feel sick right now from laughing
Dude,
that hard at
By
it.
the way,
I
it's totally in focus.
It's in
Like, you-
focus.
Oh my
It's
god,
giant
it's the main
there.
part of the scene, man.
The guy's behind us once again. Eric Myers. I know him. He's behind us. He goes, "Is that a Chronicles of Riddick?"
Dude, we were in
poster?"
pain. Bob and I
I was-
are dying.
Oh!
Oh my
I
God.
could not believe it. We had
That's so
literally
funny.
talked about Pitch Black before it started. But that killed me more than anything in the movie, only because we had to set up.
Hands down. Like,
But why would you do that? Why would you
But we
shoot
established
that scene in front of that poster like that?
Is it like the same studio
Does
or
anyone
something?
care?
Is it the same director? Is it like a
producer?
producer?
it's
Somebody?
Universal.
Anybody?
Universal.
Universal?
Same
That's it?
company. That's it.
Jesus.
They're like, but it makes sense though. Huey pointed out that he's 20. Okay, he's 27.
Yeah.
It's his childhood home.
Yeah.
So Chronicles was about 10 years old.
Yeah,
He was like 17 when that came out.
Okay.
He hung it in his room. That makes sense. But
Not-
it's just funny to feature it in that shot
not anything
like that.
sexual or
No.
something that made
Maybe
like
something that made
Just
sense, like,
Yeah, like-
Old Boy or
yeah,
We were-
might inform
you
his
know,
character in some way.
Battle Royale.
We were talking like, what if
perhaps,
that was in the red room, and if he had like Riddick's
Dude.
goggles on like a mount, and he's like, I
That would
use those.
fucking kill. I would
great.
love this movie
a
if that
huge
was in the
Riddick
red
fan.
room.
What
If he
if-
was trying to be Riddick during these messages. Ah,
Like he had goggles
the
on,
best thing ever.
like he's in a tank top and goggles, and he
I
jumps from the
said to
ceiling.
Huey in the parking lot. I was like, dude, what if the reason he's so fucked up is he's a Furion?
He's a Furion, yeah. It's just.
Oh shit.
That's what Riddick is.
Chronicles of
Riddick is a Furion. That's his race. That's all
I
right.
see.
Yeah.
The
Fast and the Furion, man. I'm telling
Fast
you.
and
It's
Furion.
man.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
The thing that got me about the Benoit balls is when they're at the dinner and she goes, "Are you hungry?" And she goes, "Ravenous." And then he goes, "That's what they're for."
That's what the balls are for. By
I
the
was
way,
like, "What are those Centrum Silver tablets?
Yeah, they're
supposed to get
secreting
you
like
through the
vitamins
meal.
into her body.
What are you talking
God,
about?"
I hate this movie.
well, they were talking about that she was horny.
I thought they were talking like those were those silver balls.
No,
you
she
put
just
on
loves
cakes.
Guy Pearce movies. Yeah.
Also,
7-8 time signatures.
but also, I've decided to give you heavy Benoit balls to put in your vagina to get you horny during this party where I've sat you next to my parents.
That's fine.
he's
I mean,
got-
like anything in like.
He's got some mommy issues.
Yeah, like that is kind of in character, right? Because that's what I kind of figured. This is supposed to be like
But why
a
would?
sadistic, fucked up guy. Like, sure,
But
that's,
she has
and that's
no-
kind of I don't know. That's fine.
Man.
That's
But she has no
somewhat in
issue
the-
with it. That
Right.
she's sitting next to his parents, like, you're trying to make me horny while I'm sitting next to your fucking
yeah.
mom.
Well, her
That's such a good point.
yeah, her caring about stuff to not caring about stuff ratio is just like completely random in this
She's
movie.
like, let's take it slow, and then literally 30 seconds later, she's like, we need to fuck immediately.
Yeah.
yeah,
like-
because you're fucking
well-
adults who have already fucked.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You take it slow.
He spanked you 6 times.
What are you, 15 years
You've got
old? Shut
Benoit
the fuck
balls
up.
in you. Like,
come
you're not
on.
taking it slow.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought for a
apparently-
second,
Take it
since he's
slow.
so rich, he had Benoit balls made that were like remote controlled.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah,
too.
I
yeah.
thought he was gonna like push a button on
Yeah,
his
yeah, they,
cufflink
like,
and they would
vibrate
start
or something.
vibrating.
Well,
or
that would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
That's what I would have done.
That would
Or
have
they
been using
start-
that money for something.
Yeah,
or
that's
they
what I
rolled
would.
out
yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
started spying.
They're like
on
little
other
drones.
people.
Or they made like a siren sound coming out.
Klaxons just blasting.
It's just like a backup alarm on a garbage truck.
Another Danny Elfman score starts billowing from her crotch.
Everyone in the
Oh
room
my
just
God.
starts hearing like a.
Oh man.
They're like, what the hell is that? They're just slamming together inside her.
Sorry,
Why would be
IUD.
sonar.
Sorry, yeah.
Smoke bomb. It was smoke bombs, and then he steals a diamond tiara. All part of
Just pouring out of her eyes and
It's all
mouth.
part of
Oh, Jesus.
jewelry.
That's
It's like
really
when a
dark.
transformer dies.
That's darker,
yeah,
man.
man. That
No,
would.
that's
Hey,
darker.
anything would be darker than what we watched. This is
Yeah.
just a normal relationship where a guy happened to own a lot of weird stuff.
I think they set
I wouldn't
us up
say
for
it's
that.
normal. That guy's. I mean, he's.
I mean,
really
he's a
messed
dickhead,
up,
but
man.
like, I don't know. Like, as far
He
as like
wants
kinky
to own
sex stuff,
women.
this is like
I mean,
really
he wants slaves.
banal.
He wants like serious
Yeah, it's
slaves.
not normal, but like we said,
Yeah.
like we were talking about that was like she's just with a controlling dick, and you were like,
Mm.
well, yeah, like most men.
What? This is just a relationship.
Especially no. I mean, he's a rich. He's a really rich asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what if a normal guy was rich? That's like
Right.
the only fucking setup that we're like, where this is even unusual. Why are we watching this fucking movie?
One of the conflicts is you can't go on a business trip with your boss
Yeah.
to a book expo.
Like, she
where
doesn't-
He was
fucking
like, the
But he
answer is
can.
no, but he
But
could
he
go
can.
in a moment's notice.
Dude,
Yeah.
when the boss shows back up, looking at the fireworks at the same time they're looking at the fireworks.
That's the very end.
The end.
That
That's
is the
the
very
end.
Thank God.
I love that scene though, where he's like
He's all
smoking a
fucked up
cigarette
looking,
and then he
looks all
burns
beat
a
up.
hole
Yeah,
through the
but he burns
picture.
No,
it
of
now you're
Christian.
making a motion as if you're taking the cigarette and,
And
then
putting
pushing
it
it
through- no,
forward
he's-
into the cigarette. No, he's taking it behind the picture and expertly taking out exactly this person's face, which is the exact circumference of this
I'm
fucking
so
cigarette.
glad you pointed that out because I'm thinking like I would have been like, oh shit, no.
It's like the opening of Brandon.
You missed it like 4 times. Like, there you go. It just
Yeah.
seemed
Did anyone else
perfect.
want him to,
Perfect.
did anyone else want him to take the cigarette out of his mouth and like toss it on the ground and stomp out and there's like saxophone music playing?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's just staring up at the
It's like a
staring
Lethal
up
Weapon
and-
scene or something.
Yeah, and he just slowly walks away from the
It's just like
fireworks.
2 minutes of him walking down the street.
That's how the movie ended. It would
He's
be
like
great.
hitchhiking.
You know what'd be
Yeah.
It's
great
like
is
Incredible Hulk.
Incredible
Oh my
Hulk
God.
music
By the way,
Jesus.
he's looking at a printout of a picture that he took
with his cell phone at
God
their
damn
house.
it. He went and got a glossy 5x7 done at Walmart
Once
so he
again,
could burn it.
his storyline should have been the end of the movie. He tried to rape the main character.
Yeah.
That's how the movie should end, and it was just played off like, It's just another day in the life.
Well, but apparently he's after Christian.
It really should have been him closing a book that said 50 Shades of Grey on it, and then there's a photo, and it's Kim Basinger, and it's like, here's my book I wrote. And he's like, I'm gonna
Or it's
write
like
this
or it's
book.
like Tommy
Yes.
Boy.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
would've
Tommy
been
Boy, like
great.
him and Kim Basinger are actually lovers trying to sabotage.
Yes.
You know, it's like
Yes.
some insane plot to like fuck over them somehow.
Maybe
it doesn't
that's
even.
what we'll find
Or if
out
he
in the
just
third
showed up
one.
with
It's
road
so
flares.
confusing.
Dude, it would be great if any characters had any goddamn interaction with anybody else at any point other than the two of them.
Yeah.
Because it's just this scattershot randomness,
And they have no
which is
chemistry.
surprising considering everybody's constantly at the same parties, having no fucking relationships with each other at all beyond this. It's just like there's no organic, like there's no plot coming out of anything.
You
Like,
guys-
It's supposed to
And
be
yet-
this like binary
Random-
star system, and there's all this gravity to nothing.
nothing.
Nobody
Nothing.
gives a shit about these people.
Are
And
you
yet,
guys
somehow we know nothing about
They're
these
the most
people
important
still,
people in the
too.
world.
right?
We
Are
know
you
nothing about
all aware that they hate each other in real life?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty common
That's gross.
knowledge. They hate each other. They do
I
not like
I was
each
gonna
other.
say they're either actually fucking in real life or they hate each other. That was my thought
Yeah,
at some point.
apparently they hate each other. So,
I-
and they don't like the movies either.
Do you guys remember
So,
the Jane
well,
Austen comment?
I don't blame them.
No.
Well, did you guys know that they had a gag order put on them like 4 days ago? Even though they're promoting this film,
Probably, yeah.
they have a gag order not to say anything negative about the film. Both stars.
Oh,
by their
that's
own
so
studio.
funny. Well,
crazy.
because
I'm
they
proud of
know
them.
that they filmed a terrible fucking film.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Jane Austen comment? She's like laying with him, and
Oh,
she's
I was
like,
leading Jane
I
or
remember
Austin or yeah.
reading Jane Austen and something else.
Oh, yeah.
Bronte.
Bronte and
Bronte.
Emily Bronte. And I just, nothing, no relationship seemed to ever compare to that. I needed something extraordinary. And then I found you.
Right, because she.
A controlling
I want
witch.
to vomit
No,
just
and
hearing that
was,
line.
She was answering the question of, how come you waited for sex?
Ah,
That's what she
that
was
the-
answering it
that
with
was-
the Jane
oh,
Austen comment.
God.
Because it's the first movie she was a virgin, if you didn't know that.
I read
and-
Wuthering Heights and it just changed my life.
Which is another thing, like, don't.
Was joined a nunnery.
She's not, like, woke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, God,
You know what I
she's fucking
mean?
idiot.
Like-
That's hence my internalized sexism.
Right,
I was
right,
like, I
yeah.
was waiting for something extraordinary, like you, what, a fucking dick that
Yeah.
wants to own you?
Yeah.
That's extraordinary? Fuck you. No, it's
beautiful.
not. First of all,
Going back to
But
the,
he's really hot and rich. Oh, God.
going back to
the message is so bad.
the boss almost raping her stuff. Yes. Makes Christian right for telling her not to go on the business trip, which really
Yes!
sucks.
yes,
It proves
Yes!
I
It
agree.
proves him
that
right.
pissed me off too. Yes,
That's garbage.
Is garbage.
The most
right.
sympathetic.
But it
character
showed
in the
that she
entire
knew Krav
movie.
Maga, so.
That's
It
true.
was like something
Yeah.
like, "Whoa,
Yeah. She whooped his ass. What is he even?
And
it's
the
just
whole
like,
audience
Should I be
cheered.
worried about anything at this point?
Yeah.
Like these people can effortlessly take care of all their problems, independent of each other.
Yeah, I was like, she's pretty strong. Why does she need Christian at all? She's just, she kicked that guy's ass.
Yeah, man, she wasted him in like 2 seconds.
But punch Christian when you get downstairs and then run.
Just beat
run
everybody up.
fast and
Make-
far for
just
these people.
Turn into
Yes.
Run Lola Run 3.
Yeah, right,
like-
right.
There's
Get
only
away from
one
all men.
sympathetic male character towards Anastasia, and it's the driver, because he says he's concerned. Miss Gray, Miss Steele, Anastasia.
yeah."
Like he's actually concerned that she's going to be lost. Something bad happened.
Yes.
He actually gives a shit.
Yes.
And all he does is he's paid to stand there.
What about the correction?
Drive first
Correction.
around.
Actually, in the first movie and in this movie, not really. The photographer was that guy.
I was gonna say, what about the friend? Yeah.
The photographer who's secretly sort of in love with her is the actual good guy in these stories.
Yeah, and
He's not in this movie, really.
He's been reduced to a guy that shows up every 6 weeks in an Applebee's drink.
But like,
Yeah, and he
how-
took
pic-
what's the
I mean,
time frame of this
I
movie?
assumed that he was her gay friend in this movie because
Mhm.
there was
I'm pretty
no-
sure he's in love with her in the first movie.
Speaking,
I mean,
of,
he took all those pictures and made an art gallery.
Yeah, but
Stupid
all they had to do
portrait.
to correct
Like
that
portraits
was to
from
do, like-
Walmart.
all they had to do to correct
Come
that
on.
would do like another 4-second lingering look shot.
right? Yeah,
And that would have worked.
and they
and then it'd
didn't
be
do
like,
that at all.
oh,
You
okay,
could cut the
yeah.
staring out and take it. You
Speak-
could take 45 minutes out of this movie with staring, just removed.
Oh my
Speaking
The
God.
of,
amount
like,
of staring.
Yeah.
This shit being like not woke too is like the moment when he has like a hairdresser come in the house.
Oh,
Oh my god! And this guy was just like, "Hey girlfriend, let's do your hair."
it's Hollywood
It's
Montrose.
Man, I
ridiculous.
really wanted that to be
Yes,
Hank's
it's
area.
basically Hollywood.
Oh, man.
yeah, see?
Yeah, right.
Ah.
That would have been great.
That would be amazing. Right, yeah.
Was he in a black like onesie unitard
Oh
too?
my! It was ridiculous.
Like an old
Well-
timey strong man.
Hold on a sec. Now, let's talk about
And
the,
then-
the reason that gay hairdresser guy, the gay stereotype hairdresser guy, had to come is because Christian took her
Yeah.
to his former fuck mom to get her hair done. And she's
Fuck
like,
mom.
why would you bring me here? You bring all your subs here? He's like, it's not like that.
Even though, yes, I do. But
Yeah, I do, and I want her to check you out to make sure I can fuck you. You know, it's like, what is
What?
happening?
And she's like, that makes me mad. The next day, she's like, it's fine.
It's fine.
I
You
hate
fucked
this
me really
fucking
good, so
movie.
everything's fine. Ah,
Oh my god!
I don't want
there's
your
so
money,
many-
though.
Huey's
I don't
gonna
want
fall asleep
$24,000. But to give it to charity or something.
What was
All
the
right.
ticket that she like tore up that was worth $24,000?
It was a check for
it was
20.
Check.
Oh, it was a check.
He- in the
They
first
said
movie,
ticket. I'm like, what
in
the
the first
fuck is
movie,
it?
he's
What?
like paying
They said
her.
check.
What country are we in?
It's really confusing. In the first movie,
It
he's
was
like
a
paying her
traveler's
to be a
ticket.
sub. He pays women to be subs.
Okay.
And he has them sign contracts and all this stuff.
All right.
So all the consent is taken care of, and then he goes
Gotcha.
probably ballistic.
Why doesn't
Sure.
she just put those towards her student loans?
Why doesn't she just take one and just
Yeah, right.
drive out of the city and never talk to anyone again because they're all terrible people?
Yes, exactly.
Like, they're all
Exactly.
awful.
They're all terrible.
And push Christian off a roof. Just, everyone will think he just committed suicide.
He's a terrible
to
person.
murder him. It's fine.
And he's like, so I'm a sadist and I like to hurt women who look like my mom, just like you. And she's like, oh, okay.
Would
Let's
it be
get
great-
married.
Let's get married.
Wouldn't it be great if instead of saying let's get married, she just like had a knife and just stranded it right in his neck? Like, oh, but
Yeah, right.
Credits roll.
Oh, but I'll heal him with my love. Like, and he knows, so he's so self-aware at 27 years old, but he's at no point he's like, it's fucked up, I know. And it's like, so go to therapy or something, dude. What the fuck? Like,
Look, I'm too rich for therapy.
It'd be
People
great.
need to bend toward my
Wouldn't it
will,
be
not
great
the
if
other
he
way
said
around.
like, I like to beat up women that look like my mom. Fucked up, right? It's like and she'd be like, well, let's get married.
Yeah.
What?
Definitely
Stop.
gonna marry you now. Man.
Is there anyone left for anyone that wants to say anything about this
No,
movie?
Not for me.
I know Huey's done.
I'm done.
He
was
fell
already-
asleep.
Huey was done the second we left the house.
I looked at you so many times. I was like, Bob, this is still happening. Would you please just kill me?
I was so wanting to put my hand over your nose and
I looked at you. I was
to
like,
let
John.
you die.
I was like, John, are the rabbits? And you're like, there are rabbits, Huey.
Yeah,
Just-
just blam.
There's like
Describe the shack for me, Huey. And then I put my hand gingerly over your nose.
there's a point.
We're gonna get out of this insane asylum together, Huey.
There's a point where they were fucking like one of the first times, and I said to Huey and I said, "It's weird watching this when all you can hear is John Bennett whispering."
yeah.
It's so like there's just so much fucking going on.
I couldn't
Now
understand
your-
half the
your
stuff you were
voice.
saying,
Yeah,
but it's just like, it was very, very weird
Yeah.
disparity between the two.
I thought it was really funny to talk to you while you were sleeping during the fuck scene.
But Lauren, you said that you heard women saying that the fuck scenes weren't long enough and satisfying
Oh
enough,
yes,
right?
I heard this woman in the bathroom. She was probably in her like 50s. She looked like a very just like some typical like suburban woman. Short haircut, like just kind of got her fleece on and stuff. And she was just like, oh yeah, the book is much. It's got you can't do on film what they do in the book. They can't do that. And then her friend goes, well, I still enjoyed the movie, and she goes, it's a fun movie. It's fun.
It's fun.
Very fun.
Lighthearted comedic entertainment for the whole family. All the jokes land.
That woman, and I was like, oh, you were the fan of 50 Shades. I get it. Like,
Hey,
you
she's just happy to be out of the house.
never
I
had
mean,
sex that was not just your husband. Just
It's amazing
on top
that her
of
husband
you,
let her
like,
out.
like a fish. Just
Yeah, exactly. I get
accounts
it.
receivable.
I mean,
get
they're
it.
both hot people on screen. It's not like they're not attractive people.
Sure.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay.
Just gotta, nice
Sure.
little
Yeah, they're
body
hot
in there,
people.
huh?
I
You,
mean,
you get a little
fine.
tingle.
Porn
but that's
exists,
also,
though.
But,
Yeah,
but
right.
porn exists.
That
This
woman
is what
doesn't
I'm
have an
saying.
internet, though. Probably,
These people have never seen porn. I think
Right.
it's people who have never seen porn,
Right.
and they would refuse to watch porn,
Hmm.
but they will read
This is close enough.
this
Yeah.
book or watch this movie.
It's still elegant.
And it's like,
somehow.
oh my god, I've never even heard of any of these things happening ever before.
It's because he's
like,
rich.
It's Walmart porn.
It is.
You know
It's
how
Walmart porn.
James Bond is the ultimate male fantasy because it's a travelogue. You fuck women in exotic places, and there's action scenes you could never do. That's
You're
what
right.
James Bond is about.
Mhm.
This is just like I get to travel, I get to be with a rich guy, and I get to look at interior design.
They do go to a lot of locations.
Yeah, they go to a lot of houses.
There's a lot of interior design.
Everything is an
So much.
artisanal restaurant.
They even threw
Yeah.
in that Riddick poster for the boys.
Wow.
For the
What
boy.
are the boys into? There's a retro shit and action movies. We'll get a tube television. Fucking Chronicles of Riddick.
Drive them nuts.
I have read that certain couples therapists, since 50 Shades of Grey came out, have talked about how many formerly very vanilla couples have had improved sex lives because of their wives.
I've heard the
reading
same thing.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of men feel more in tune with their sexuality after reading or seeing the movie.
He's like, oh, I get to act like this. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
right? I get to act like a fucking asshole.
Well, you know what? I guess if you watch the movie as like an educational video, it has about that much quality acting and
Yeah.
like coherence. So
It's like a PSA.
yeah, if it was just like if you're like here, put the next disc in. You know, like if it was that, I'd
I
be
mean,
like,
what would you do in
I'd be like,
Anastasia's
this is the
position?
most well shot educational
Yeah,
video.
there
I've
are
ever seen.
multiple Lifetime movie actors in this
There
movie
are.
that
Yeah.
Lauren has a much sharper eye for.
Marcia Gay
Yeah,
Harden.
yes, Marcia Gay Hardening, Christian Grey's mother.
She's
is
more
a
than just a
lifetime,
Lifetime. She's
but
more
she's
than
been
that. She was
Miss
in
Carmody
many
in
The
a-
Mist.
Yes, but
But
she's
she-
been in many a Lifetime. movie.
She's still a great actress.
Also,
so.
there was a guy that in her meeting that editor's meeting
Oh
that
my
she
God.
went to that was in
Fucking
a
meeting.
fucking Lifetime movie that where he
Oh.
hit on some woman and like tried to rape her, which was so funny too. I was like, ugh, he's so disgusting.
Yeah, the cost cutting, it looked like it was all shot in Vancouver. Like
Yeah.
the whole movie.
Yeah,
It
oh,
had to
yeah.
have been, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Probably was.
I just looked up the budget. How much do you think this movie was made for?
Mil 5.
Hold on, I'm gonna guess.
I would
Yes.
agree with you until I looked at this.
35.
Closer than John.
What?
Anyone
they
else wanna
didn't-
guess?
else?
What, they didn't
I'd,
lease
I'd
the boat?
say 40. I wouldn't.
You're a little hotter.
Wow.
I have no idea.
$55 million
What?
What?
to do a montage on a boat that they apparently already did. Jesus, how much of that had to go to Danny Elfman? I mean,
Yeah, right?
Good grief. There's no
The star-
named actors in this movie.
Dakota Johnson
much
probably
was it
makes a lot of
just-
money.
Really?
How much?
How?
Who the fuck is
Shit,
Dakota
this-
Johnson?
It's
I've never
She's the
heard of this
person for
before.
50 Shades of Grey.
Is that it? You can't be a
Yes.
$20 million beggable star from one fucking movie.
She's got to be making at least
you-
5.
And that had to be under contract, so she
Right?
had to make these 2 sequels based on her original contract, so it's not going to go up.
If you've never seen Dakota Johnson act, think of Melanie Griffith's very drunken little girlish way of speaking with no physicality or body language whatsoever. That is
she's
the way
not very
Dakota
good.
Yeah,
Johnson
it's like they
acts.
downloaded her into a Cherry 2000.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Well, there you
Yeah.
go. That kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
Man.
Does anyone have anything left they want to say?
Is the third movie where they finally, it's far enough in the future that fuck dolls exist and then he doesn't have to be in a relationship?
John, it's where they
You would
crash
think
on that
he could
planet.
just get those built.
Yeah.
Just build yourself a
Just
robot
get
woman,
a
and then
robot woman and
you could do
stop
anything.
This madness.
you can build one that looks like your mom, and then stab her in the face, and
Make
then
it
go
feel.
away,
Make sure
you
it feels pain, and then just.
know? Make sure. It feels
Yeah,
pain.
that's all you gotta do.
He is a sick fuck. He probably would do that.
It's unbelievable.
I
This
just-
movie.
I hope that if any of you go missing and it's on the news,
We'll just walk in the
that
door
they,
5
won't.
minutes
then as
later.
they announce on the news that you were found, you will walk into the door.
Rex
Minutes
just
later.
walks in. It's fine. Don't worry
It's fine,
about it. I'm
I'm
good.
fine.
I don't think me disappearing would ever be on the news.
No.
I don't think anybody would. Maybe a newspaper.
I might be in the local news. I think that would show up somewhere, at least on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. That's
I know
right.
that
Fake
people
news.
Would put
We know enough people at City Paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people who do
You're a white
jokes.
guy.
Sad John Bennett.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like, have you seen this
Around
sad
the
man?
doll. Yeah.
Sad-
He's probably
Sad
somewhere
John
being
Bennett.
sad.
Sad man John Bennett gone
Yeah.
missing.
In
God,
helicopter crash.
Presumed sad.
Check every park bench.
Presumed sad. Yeah.
Sad and dangerous.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I don't think that there's much else to. I mean, we could keep. It's
no.
like just
What
beating
do
I
you
dead
feel like I'm
horse.
the
beating
third
up on
one's
like a
about?
special needs
It's
kid.
such a pile of
Awful.
shit. But it'll make its money.
Besides,
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I'm sure it will.
Look, I'm yours, you're mine. I'm yours, you're mine. I'm yours, you're mine. I'm yours, you're mine.
Oh,
Ownership,
like
slavery,
first 10 goddamn
fun.
minutes.
I want to
First
just
10 minutes.
wrap this cord around my neck.
Man,
Huey, I'm so happy you watched this.
Yeah, me
Besides-
too, Bob.
besides the first Pitch Black, what is the third movie going to be about? What do you think?
The second Pitch
Speculate.
Black.
So the second, like, shut up.
get right, Bennett.
I'm telling you, the
sad
third one.
sack.
The third one is going to be a crime that they were both accused of. they have to go into witness protection program, and then 20 years skip ahead, and it's Blue Velvet.
I think based on this movie and not seeing the original, it's going to be exclusively about whether or not they like each other and how everybody else sort of reacts to that.
Their marriage is just
And
going to be
that's it.
him
But
wanting
no,
to
then-
do more.
Then the old
Yeah,
boss will
yeah.
show up,
It's
do
good, yeah,
something in
he's
one
gonna-
scene, and that'll solve itself.
He's going to
immediately.
turn out not to be in love, and he's going to need more BDSM, and that's
Right.
that's
It
the
has to
third
be- it
one.
has to be-
She's gonna
I
be
mean, it's called
conflicted about
Freed.
that.
Yeah, she's going to be like, you don't actually love me. You just want, you just thought you did or something.
Have they already
And-
shot
and
it?
then I guess her old boss is
They
coming
probably
after
could just
him,
cut it
too.
from
Yeah.
You guys
a cigarette.
left. They did a after credits preview.
Oh yeah, you didn't see
Yeah.
that. There's scenes of the next movie at the end of this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? We walked out?
Yeah,
And-
they
and
named it.
apparently-
It's Freed is the
Yeah.
subtitle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like her, them getting married and some bull. I mean, who
It's
fucking
so-
cares?
Wait, they had
But, like,
scenes shot?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
scenes
There
of
was
the
like
movie.
an
getting
Italian
married.
villa. There's all sorts.
So they
of
shot
shit.
it like Back to the Future 2 and 3 together?
know.
I guess. I mean, if that 55 million included both of them, then I'd believe
Dude,
it.
if it was in the Old West. To be
Look,
concluded.
our boss is alive, but he's in the old west.
He's Mad Dog Tannen.
Christian Grant a time machine built, man. That'd be great.
Oh my
Christian
god.
Mad Dog Gray.
Why do you think I was taking the helicopter to a secret location? That's where I'm building a time machine.
Only my assistant knows about it.
She's got to go back and stop the line of sickness in his family or something.
Oh man. Stop his mom from getting addicted to crack.
Dude, the flashback to his childhood was so messy.
It was
so messy.
It was like a 30-second clip of like Ang Lee's Hulk.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes!
What?
It looked
Yeah.
like 10 minutes in Michael Madsen's house. It's like that.
Jesus.
Aw.
It was just some kid under a bed. It was nothing.
No, under a kitchen table.
Yeah, he was just,
Whatever.
yeah, man.
where his
like-
dead mom is.
I didn't realize that was a pimp that
Was
came.
it a pimp?
The only reason I know that is because the credits said pimp, and I'm like,
Oh!
that could only possibly be
I
that
assumed
character.
It was a stepfather. Or
That's what I
something,
thought,
or
too.
Yeah.
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Was it-
So
yeah.
a pimp burned him with a cigarette?
I guess.
Who knows? Because he answers no.
Well, because he didn't
questions.
answer, and who cares? And it's just like everything is like
Because-
it's just set up and
No.
no payoff, no explanation.
Kim Basinger did it when
Ever.
he was entering the League of Shadows.
Oh yeah, we had to crush up that flower and inhale the smoke
Yeah.
She
to
literally,
fuck better.
She asked him what happened to him, and he goes, "My mother
That's why you can fuck women
was an addict.
with who are 3 inches apart.
You could fill in.
She died of crack when I was 4.
She
Fill in
died
the
of
blanks from there.
crack.
That's
Yeah.
all he said.
Fill in the
blanks.
Fill in the blanks, bitch. I'm Batman.
Yeah, what is
Dude,
that?
20 years
what
later.
if
Cape
fucking
Crusader.
Kim Basinger's name in the movie was Vicky Vale, and then it
Wow.
wouldn't that be insane? That'd be
That's what I
great.
said
Oh,
when
man.
she emerged from the shadow, like, oh, quickly. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she dated Batman. She knows how to
She
do
knows
that.
it. She dated Batman.
I
Shadows of a
refuse
party.
to talk about this movie anymore.
Okay.
He
I'm
was
out.
done.
All right.
You guys can
Bye.
keep talking.
Fine. No, it's
All
something
right.
I
I hate
want
it.
to say.
Turn your
All
mic
right.
off.
Lauren, thank you for doing this.
Thank you
I don't
for
think
having
I wouldn't want just us to talk
No,
about
no.
this.
It needed a woman's touch.
Yeah.
I am very happy.
Where in the Red Room did they
The
keep the
return from the
kaiju
helicopter
powder?
crash was made the whole movie worth it because I just busted
Stop!
out laughing immediately when it
Yeah.
happened. I was like, and the movie's worth it. Thank you.
Let it
You're
die.
This movie makes
let
all
you
women and all
die.
men look like pieces of shit.
Humans. It
Humans.
just makes humans like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it makes people look like they can't make movies.
Yes. And they
We
get right.
deserve what we get, and we're getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huey's
Yeah.
gonna kill you.
You
Huey-
can't even beat a character.
Huey,
in
what
this
did you
movie.
think of the tube television?
I don't know. I would have gone RCA, man. I just,
He didn't have a television in his normal apartment. Wanted to point that out, sort of. No, wait, they did.
Just
Never mind.
music playing.
All right, we're gonna stop
Okay,
talking
fine.
about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
All right.
matter, Huey. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys. Don't.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, you sexy bitch.
Now you're free.
Your committed endurance through a Mound of Thunder has been roundly appreciated. Subscribe to Thunder Grunt on iTunes for the continued once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hear straight white males review Hollywood's biggest cocaine fundraisers.